The chandelier above the grand marble hall glittered like a frozen explosion of light, reflecting off the polished floors where 25 of the most celebrated experts in the country stood defeated. Engineers, cryptographers, security analysts, former military strategists. Each one had been summoned with pride and dismissed with humiliation. At the center of the room, behind a long obsidian table, sat the man they all feared. Victor Carolyn, the unseen ringleader whose name was whispered in boardrooms and back alleys alike. Before him rested a sleek steel vault no larger than a briefcase. It had no visible hinges, no keypad, no fingerprint scanner. Just a seamless surface and a small digital screen flashing a single mocking sentence. 1 minute. For 3 days the experts had tried everything. Algorithms were written and rewritten. Thermal scanners traced invisible lines. One specialist attempted to listen to internal mechanisms with a device sensitive enough to detect a heartbeat behind concrete. Nothing worked. Every failed attempt reset the timer and triggered a cold mechanical laugh from the hidden speakers. Carolyn's patience had grown thin. His empire depended on what was inside that vault. Evidence, codes, leverage powerful enough to control men who thought they were untouchable. By the fourth evening, exhaustion hung heavier than the crystal lights. The expert stood in embarrassed silence, avoiding Carolyn's gaze. He rose slowly, adjusting his cufflinks, ready to dismiss them all and perhaps make an example of one. That was when a soft clatter echoed from the doorway. A cleaning cart. No one had noticed her before because no one ever did. She was small, dressed in a faded gray uniform, her dark hair tied back in a simple knot. Her name tag read Anya. She had been mopping the corridors while brilliance battled in the ballroom. When she saw the crowd and the open doors, she hesitated, but curiosity pulled her a step closer. "I'm sorry," she said quietly, her accent gentle but steady. "Should I come back later?" One of the experts scoffed. "Yes, this is not a place for interruptions." But Anya's eyes had already drifted to the vault. She watched the screen flicker again. 1 minute. She tilted her head slightly, as if listening to music only she could hear. Carolyn studied her with faint irritation. "You have 60 seconds, he said mockingly. "If you believe you can succeed where genius has failed." A ripple of laughter spread through the room. Anya swallowed but stepped forward. She didn't touch the vault immediately. Instead, she circled it once, pushing her cart absent-mindedly. Her gaze fell on the chandelier, then the mirrored walls, then the placement of the table itself. Her fingers brushed the steel surface lightly, not pressing, just feeling. "May I?" she asked. Carolyn gestured with theatrical boredom. "Entertain us." The timer reset. 1 minute. Anya closed her eyes for 3 seconds. The room fell into an uneasy hush. She opened them and looked, not at the vault, but at the reflection of the vault in the polished marble floor. Her lips curved almost invisibly. "It's not the box," she murmured. 30 seconds left. She moved to the side of the room and grabbed a silver serving tray from a nearby table. Holding it at an angle, she positioned it beneath the vault screen. The experts leaned forward. The tray caught the reflection of the chandelier's light, redirecting it onto the digital display. A faint grid appeared, previously invisible under direct view. Gasps scattered through the hall. "It's a light-reactive interface," one expert whispered, stunned. "But we checked for that." "You checked directly," Anya replied softly. "But sometimes what you see depends on where you stand." 15 seconds. Using her finger, she traced the faint illuminated grid, not randomly, but following a pattern reflected from the chandelier's crystal arrangement above. Each crystal formed a sequence mirrored perfectly on the hidden interface. Her movements were calm, deliberate, like someone following embroidery stitches learned long ago. 5 seconds. She tapped the final point. The vault emitted a low hum. The seamless steel split open with a whisper, revealing neatly stacked drives and documents glowing under soft blue light. Silence. Not the stunned silence of confusion, but the heavy, breathless silence of realization. Carolyn did not move. His sharp eyes locked onto the open vault, then shifted slowly to Anya. For the first time, uncertainty flickered across his controlled expression. "How?" he asked, the word barely audible. Anya lowered the tray. When you clean rooms like this, she said gently, you learn that powerful men love symmetry. You placed the chandelier yourself, didn't you? It's the only object here that doesn't match the architect's original design. You wanted the solution hidden in something you admired every day. One of the experts sank into a chair, speechless. Another rubbed his forehead, half laughing in disbelief. Carolyn stepped closer to the vault, then to Anya. He studied her as if seeing her for the first time, not as a maid, not as invisible, but as a mind that had just outmaneuvered his hand-picked elite. You solved in 1 minute what they could not solve in 3 days, he said slowly. Anya offered a small shrug. Sometimes you look too hard, she replied. And when you look too hard, you stop seeing. The weight of her words settled deeper than the vault's contents ever could. Carolyn straightened, but the dominance in his posture had shifted. The room no longer felt like his stage. He gave a short nod. You may go. Anya returned the tray, adjusted her worn gloves, and pushed her cleaning cart toward the door. As she passed the line of defeated experts, none dared meet her eyes. Just before exiting, she paused and glanced back. Not at Carolyn, not at the vault, but at the chandelier sparkling above. Then she left behind her. 25 experts remained frozen in awe, and a ringleader who had built his empire on control stood utterly speechless, realizing that brilliance does not always wear a suit, and sometimes it carries a mop.